What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. As you know, we like to throw out a quote of the week every single time you tune in. So, Mitchell, take it away.
The first rule about Fight Club is that you don't talk about Fight Club. Chuck Norris.
Hit it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to, as of right now, not the only Man Card podcast anymore, but I do have to say our favorite and hopefully your favorite as well. But anyway, welcome back to the show. We're so excited for you to be here. We have a couple topics today that we definitely want to touch on. One of which we'll just start off with. We are no longer the only Man Card podcast. We, in the past few weeks, have noticed that there's another show called The Man Card Podcast.
The Man Card Podcast.
The Man Card Podcast.
It's different. They got an extra word in there.
Yeah, they do. So they popped up January 1st and have been doing releases every Monday about the exact same time.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, you texted me all in a panic. Yo, bro, we're not the only Man Card Podcast anymore.
I did. But that's okay. We've got some stuff planned. We've got some stuff coming down the pike. So, obviously we'll keep you updated. We can't say much right now. But just know, we're standing our ground. Mm-hmm. And so I think a big topic for today would be, manliness in the eyes of standing your ground. When do you need to just fold and give up? And when are there times when you need to stand your ground? Because I feel like more often than not, I'm called, my personality at least, I like to stand my ground.
Yeah, no, I know.
But there are some times when I'm not supposed to do that, when I need to just give up and just roll over. This is not the time to fight. Don't die on my sword right now. Mm-hmm. Even earlier, like Ellie and I got in a little spat, and I'm like,
oh God,
I'm like, I'm right. I'm 100% right.
But you're not, because it's your wife.
But
fiance,
soon to be. And but I was like, I'm right. I'm 100% right.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, she came back later and apologized because I was actually right. But in the moment, it looked better on me to give up, even though.
So you did fold.
I tried to.
Okay.
She didn't let me, though.
You tried to fold, and she didn't let. You are right, and I'm not going to let you not feel like you're right.
No.
She didn't let you fold.
Well, it was like she doesn't appreciate it when I just give up. Because I'm definitely somebody to not give up. So she doesn't like when I say like, it's fine, it's whatever.
You win.
Like, because when I fold, I'm like completely done. Like I don't even say another word about it again. And so to her, that's just a little too stark for her to just give up that fast, or me to give up that fast. And so
you're not somebody that needs to say the last word.
I don't have to, but or
like have that little itch, like whenever you're in an argument, like to have to say that your last point.
Well, if I'm right, and I feel like in the conversation I can definitely be right, then I'll keep going. I'll keep, just because I don't run out of energy, as you know. So I'll just keep going until kingdom come. But in those kind of situations, when it is, it's like I have to remind myself, like I'm fighting with my fiance, like that's just kind of stupid.
That is.
So I try to give up, but then Ellie's like, no, don't give up. Like, I hate it when you do that. And then I'm like,
keep fighting with me. I want to see it through. Hit me. Hit me.
I love my job. What's that, The Dark Knight? But yeah, I was like, it's hard sometimes to have that balance between we want to find a resolution, but also, we want to keep in mind that, it's, I'm dealing with, my fiance. So it's not like, somebody who I'm actually trying to fight with. It's somebody who I really care about and want to make sure that, at the end of this conversation, we're going to end up, it's like the awkward moment when you're like, all right, see you later. And you all both start walking in the same direction.
Way. Oh, you're going this way too? Yeah. I just forgot. I left my pencil back there. You go that way.
You just go. I'll give you a head start. I'm not going that way. I promise. I'm not following you. But yeah, so I was like, we're just going to be going in the same direction. So it would just be silly for me to, die on my sword and make her feel like garbage, or her vice versa, make me feel like garbage, because like we're gonna end this conversation and we're gonna still be in the car going to the same place together.
Yeah.
So that
that reminds me I don't know if I mentioned this on the last podcast, but I saw, of course, a TikTok, but it was funny.
Of
The guy
course,
said,
TikTok.
me and my girlfriend, me and my wife have this rule that we do not go to sleep angry at each other. I haven't slept in 3 days.
Yeah, I think, when it comes to that's a really good mantra, but at the same time, there are some things that I've found that it's kind of best to just like let roll over, like and come at again with fresh eyes.
I agree. The only thing I don't like about that is I don't like going to sleep if you're angry at the other person, because I've found that I can convince myself of anything if I think of it right before I sleep and then wake up, and then I wake up and I'm like, yep, this is it. Like, confirmed.
Oh, so
that's why
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are like that. That's why they say don't go to sleep angry, or don't go to sleep in whatever mindset, because when you wake up, you're going to feel like that's your reality for whatever reason.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. But at the same time, it's like, is it worth it to stay up till 4 a.m. when that's not only going to ruin your next day, but their next day?
That's true.
So it's really about like a give and a take. But
Yeah.
I've always found that like I could stay up and fight for sure. Like I could just keep going. But it's really, for Ellie, that's not her strong suit. Like I come alive when I get into arguments. Like my brain just starts firing on all cylinders. I remember everything you say and can quote it back to you to prove you wrong in that you're saying something that's contradicting what you initially are frustrated at.
I got to see this in action.
It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. I'm not trying to make myself seem like amazing at debating or like arguing, but I turn on when that kind of stuff happens.
You know what your issue is? Because you grew up with your sister, and you say y'all had a good relationship, didn't fight much, and things like that. So you've been waiting for this moment. It's like what we talked about last time, is the whole, you're sheltered and then you explore because you've never experienced those things.
Yeah. I guess
I'm the opposite. I fought with my sister both of them every single day growing up. Now we don't fight anymore for the most part.
Yeah, I can see that. But at the same time, it's like, with my sister, we had a really good relationship. Would me fighting with her have just honed my ability to argue even more?
That's true.
Or would it have tamped it down to where, it's just not worth it anymore? And I feel like it was worth having a really good relationship with her, and continuing to this day. We don't get in fights or argue hardly at all.
Yeah.
And, grow in that in other places. I feel like having that core family strength is really powerful, especially I think I've mentioned this before, but it's the same, old adage that, you have your family, like your family is your core, and you could be dating people, you could be going to see people, but ultimately you're going to be coming home, depending on whether or not you're living alone, but you're going to be coming home to your family, seeing them, they're going to be supporting you. Obviously people come from all different backgrounds, and their family, quote unquote, might be kind of strange, but ultimately whatever your family is, they're going to be there for you. So having a good relationship and prioritizing that is very important. And that's how I grew up, and that's how I was taught as a kid to make sure to prioritize those relationships.
Gotcha. So in terms of standing up for things, have you ever been in a physical altercation? Because I don't know if we've talked about it, but maybe we have.
I don't think we have. I think we may be on the fights.
Maybe
fashion and
yeah. I don't remember the answer, so we'll hit that again.
Yeah. So if you're new to the show, I'll just go ahead and do a quick sidebar before we get into the fights. We are actually sponsored this episode by our new website, mancardpodcast.com. All one word, mancardpodcast.com. Go check it out. We just put a subscription ability on there, so you can go subscribe to the show. If you want to get a shout out on the show, please feel free to either, check that out, or just write us a message. You can send us an email from there, and just drop your email in, and we can send you cute little updates and messages.
Cute little.
I don't know what those are going to look like.
Let me just clarify. When he's saying we and everything, he did everything.
I did.
We're only we because I'm associated with him. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I jumped on that website train.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
It's like that whole, we're having a baby. We this, we that, we wrecked the car.
Oh,
right?
Right. We wrecked it. We're gonna pay for this, right?
You remember you said we were having a kid? Well, we just got in a car accident.
But yeah, so we're sponsored this episode by the website. We don't have any other sponsors outside of that. And that's kind of, we're kind of keeping ourselves afloat just by just continuing to do it. We don't get paid to do
just
this.
this is our entertainment.
Yeah.
This is fun.
And really, we started this out of just, it's like a verbal diary almost. Diary. We're men here. Journal. This is a verbal journal of kind of our, transition into manhood. And I think, discovering what that is, telling stories about our lives, gleaning some insights from those, as well as talking to people who either are already in possession of that elusive man card, and others who are on that journey as well. I think that's really the core tenet of this show. And if you like that, share it around with your friends, and check us out on our website. But
I think this podcast overall has just made our relationship better too.
Oh,
Just think about it beforehand. I knew you. I mean, we both knew we both went to tech. We'd hang out every once in a while. Every time I, was dealing with a girlfriend problem or something. But
yeah, pretty much.
No, it's brought us closer, and it's crazy to think that you had your established friend group.
Right.
I kind of entered my way into that, and then you and I were the only two that kind of.
Yeah, that was back in high school.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And it's funny because, I guess you could consider. I don't know how you saw that friend group. I promise we'll get to the fights in a minute, but this is a great sidebar. When we were in small group together at church, I don't know if you felt this way too, but I always saw myself as the outsider of that group. Like, they were all really close with each other, and I kind of latched on as an outsider to that. Like,
all right, I saw a completely different perspective. And this is kind of, maybe to float, or that's a dumb saying, not float your boat.
Raise your ship?
Blow smoke up your butt, I guess, or something.
Okay. Yeah.
I always thought you were like the leader of that group, frankly.
That's
maybe,
funny.
Maybe because you're maybe most outspoken, not in a bad way, but like
Yeah.
you always like anytime, we'd go out and someone wanted to pray, you'd be the first one that wanted to, step up and pray, or you wanted to, make announcements, or you made sure people were getting together.
Yeah.
So I saw it as like a leadership thing more so than you were outsider
I don't know.
at all.
I guess I just saw myself as an outsider in terms of the relationships from within the group. Like, I might have been the person who was like, yeah, guys, we're going to cook out after church or whatever. Like, we're doing this. We're going to this person's house afterwards. Like, I was kind of the organizer. Organizer.
Great.
I was kind of the organizer of a lot of those things. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the relationships with the people who were in the group that were going had the best relationships with me. And so
I did not see that. At least from an outsider coming in late,
Yeah.
I didn't see you as the outsider.
Because all of the guys, they we'll just go ahead and name drop because it's hard to describe this without names. So Holden, Brett, and Caleb, Nick, Christian, like all these guys, great guys.
Yeah.
But that core, so it was like really like Nick, Tristan, Christian, Caleb. That was kind of a core group. Mm-hmm. And then Holden and Brett, they've been best friends forever. So they were kind of a group. But when we got everybody together, it's like I could always bounce between those and like have conversations. It's the same thing in high school. Like, I never felt like I was part of a group.
Yeah.
Like, there were like, I could go kind of have conversations with the drug crew. I could kind of go have conversations with
I like how that's the first one you brought up.
Yeah, it is. What's funny is I've never done drugs, but like,
You were the organizer.
I was the organizer for the drug crew. Yeah, they always had the wallabies, the thick wallabies, and I got wallabies.
I got wallabies
I
too.
guess I looked like a druggie. But like, I could go hang out with them. I could jump between and go hang out with the FCA crew. Like, at one point I was FCA president in high school. That was very short lived. That's a whole nother story that I don't want to get into. But like, I could bounce between all these different groups. And really, I'll go back to the same thing I say before, which is I can be friends with pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Can everybody be friends with me? Absolutely not. So, that's why I kind of felt like the outsider, was because they had their groups already formed. But anyway, it was a good crew for you to come into.
Yeah.
Because you were really dragged in, not by, like, you didn't have your choice. Like, that was not your choice.
Oh, no. Oh, I mean, yeah, no, I had no choice. I remember how it all started. I was supposed to hang out with my girlfriend. My girlfriend was at work. Y'all decided to go surprise her or something at work. And I was like, and at the time I was a very jealous guy. So I was like, okay, if you're hanging out with them, I'm hanging out with them. And then that's how it all started. Then we came back here to your place.
That's right.
We, had story time, a little circle, a little social
I remember
circle.
that, dude. What?
Yeah.
That's wild, because that was after that sounds kind of bad. We used to hang out like as a group with another group of girls that was kind of like really dicey. and that was not really
Oh,
great.
yeah.
But we kind of like in a way upgraded the group of girls. Who
We are not
hung
good
out.
with words today.
Yeah, we're not. We're not upgraded.
Oh my.
That's just me, really. But we upgraded that group to just like a more like wholesome group of gals, I guess, if you could say. And that was the crew that included your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so she went. You didn't really go, but you're like, man, if she's gonna be hanging out with this group of guys now, looks like I'm gonna be there.
Yep.
And it's funny because I feel like you've toned down a little bit. I don't know.
Meaning
Maybe
what?
like you've toned down a little bit of your, as John Mayer would say, jealous love.
Oh, big time. Oh, 100%. I went from being told I need to see somebody about my jealousy by that ex to the complete opposite where you just don't care anymore.
Well, it's so funny. So I remember, so there was a period in my life where I had like gotten out of a really bad relationship, and then from there went to dating somebody else like maybe 4 or 5 months later. And it went from like me doing everything in the relationship, and that was one of the reasons why it just totally exploded, to the reverse. Like I refused to do anything because I wanted you to show me that you were going to do stuff in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like you were going to dote onto me a little bit more. And I wasn't just doing everything.
Well, that's I'm sure we talked about it back when I was dating So X. So wow, I'm not good at it. Is it Say X or So X? Said X.
Said X.
Said X.
Wow.
This is great.
This is bad.
But yeah, it was the complete opposite. When we first started dating, I was head over heels. Like I was nonstop hanging out, texting, whatever, jealous.
Sure.
And then, something happened, broke up, bad things happened when we went to college, and it completely flipped. Like I just stopped.
That's so
I stopped
curious.
putting out everything, and then it was, I got received everything. Basically, is like she was wanting to hang out every day, texted me. I liked it because maybe it was less effort on my part, and I finally was getting what I wanted in terms of I wanted the
attention.
same. But it looked like I was just not caring when I did care. But
it's the same thing. Like when I was dating this girl, which I will not name drop. She was super nice. She was super younger than me, and super younger. That sounds like I'm cradle robbing. I feel like she was about the same age. At that time, it was like I was younger, and so she seemed that much younger.
Mm-hmm. Don't criminalize yourself.
No, I promise. I was definitely underage, and so was she. So we were all
perfect.
Good. But nothing happened.
I know. It was just.
But like it really came down to I was so busy. Like this was my senior year of high school, and so it was the spring, and I was taking I didn't understand credit hours, so I was taking 17, 18 credit hours. Like I took Chem 2, physics.
Wait, is this in college?
No, this was spring senior year of high school. I full-time dual enrolled at Kennesaw.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I was about to say they didn't have that in high school.
Yeah,
credit hours.
No. But I took Chem 2 lab, which is a whole other. It's a whole other class. Physics, calculus.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
I don't know how you survived
econ
through
all
that.
at the same time, and I was like, it was great. Well, I didn't understand credit hours, so I just I'll take 5-6 classes, and that's good. And I got A's. So, but I was working my butt off every day, and so she was getting upset that I was spending so much time working,
bettering yourself
on things I had to do, and not doting on her every 3 seconds. I don't know.
Dealt with the same thing when I hit Georgia Tech, and everything changed because Georgia Tech is a completely different animal.
It's a nightmare, but it's great. Great school.
Great school. 10 for 10. Don't recommend though, for your mental sanity.
No, I do recommend. It'll bolster your mental sanity.
If you can get through 4 or 5 years of absolute hell, it's worth it.
It's definitely
absolutely worth it.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what you do. Like what you're doing, like computer science, nightmare. I'm out. But
I'd say the same for yours.
Business,
like econ, business, things like that.
I guess if you don't speak that language,
that's the thing. Literature and writing and reading, hated that stuff. History, hated that stuff. You put math in front of me, I sit there.
Yeah,
I'll say,
ironically,
I can't wait to do a math test or things like that. People look at me like, what is wrong with this kid?
Well, it's funny. So the reason I was full-time dual enrolling, amongst all of the reasons, one of the big ones was my high school ran out of chemistry. I took, honors AP, and then it was and that was it. That's all you could take. And so I was like, well, shoot, all right, I guess I'm going to do Chem 2 at Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that a lot of those credits, I don't want to say we'll just say it, I kind of in a way laundered those credit hours through the collegiate system, because it makes you have those credits accepted for high school, as well as on your transcript for college.
Oh yeah, it sets you ahead, and it's free.
It's as if you passed the AP test with flying colors.
Yeah.
And got all of the credit you could get.
Yep.
Without having to do it.
Yep.
And so, and that was a total accident on my part. Didn't have that intention when I was going into it, but when I was going out, I looked like I had, 14 AP classes, and I was like, I didn't take 14 AP classes. It's like, okay, but you did, effectively. And on a college transcript, it sure looks like that.
Yeah, it puts you a whole semester a year ahead.
Yeah, it was wild. So I came into tech, and I never had to take a lab science, which everybody
Genius.
was so
Perfect.
upset with
Yep.
me about, because they're like,
Those are the worst at tech.
they
Absolute
hated
worst.
it because the professors don't care. They do not like you. They want to weed you out.
Yeah, exactly. That I was
Yeah.
about to say, weed out classes.
So talking about fighting with your professors. Oh my gosh, like for those grades that like, can you bump me up, please? Like, don't fail me. Like
Yeah.
I'm brand new here. Like I promise I'm good. Like
I might have to do that this semester. So I'm taking that one class, pass fail.
oh gosh, really?
Okay, just a quick story. It's pass fail. I obviously didn't really care about the test. I hardly studied. I was like, you know what? It's stars, galaxy, and the universe. I was like, I can do this.
You can do this. Come on, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
So I go in the test, and it's an online test, and we finish it, and your boy got 44. Yep, killed it.
What's up? 44.
So pass fail, currently failing. But on Canvas, it tells you the statistics. Once everyone's done taking the test, it tells you what the mean is, what the low and the high was. I went on there. I was like, oh, I wonder if someone did worse than me. Nope, lowest was a 44.
Oh.
I was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is why
Whoops.
people need to study still. So I might be at the end there just hoping to pass.
Hoping to bring it through.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. There's
Yeah.
no problem there. I mean, worst comes to worst, you just Monica Lewinsky it. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, lady professor, can you please?
It's not a lady.
Oh, well, looks like you're swinging the other end of the bat now.
It's funny. This dude is all about his stars, and he's so passionate about it. So passionate
Is
about
it like stars as in like looking at actual stars?
constellations, the sun
like
movement,
astrology?
everything. Yeah, astrology, basically.
Really?
Yes, and it's a funny little joke me and my friend are talking about. He's married, and I just picture how it all started, him and his wife. Hey, we should go stargazing, and then there, she didn't realize he stargazes every night. He starts talking about the physics. Oh, you see Orion's belt and constellation. She didn't realize what she was getting
interacting. Into. That means we're gonna have a good future. Yeah, that astrology. I don't know. I don't like astrology because we made the like interpretation of the stars part.
Yep.
But I do like looking at stars you were born under and things happen under, because God made the universe.
Yeah.
So I think that part of it, like take the astrology part out of it. Like there was a documentary that we watched where the universe is basically a big clock. It's so predictable, like down to the smallest movement of anything. So we can take our our sky now, and we can reverse time and look at it when Jesus was born.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So we can look at what was happening in the stars. And the documentary is wild. It makes me cry every time. But anyway, back to fights.
Yeah, let's finally talk about altercation. Physical altercations, maybe.
So have you've been in a couple fights?
No.
Really?
I've been hit.
Okay. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I've been hit. You?
I haven't gotten into an actual like, all right, everybody circle up, let's have a fist fight. Let's have a fist fight between, you and me. But no, I think like it was middle school. So I was playing basketball outside on the basketball court because, I'm a baller.
Yeah.
Less good than this guy, but we haven't played.
No,
together.
yeah, I'm sure you're great.
No,
we've never played. Exactly.
We've never played. And so I'm trash. I'll pass it to you. You can shoot.
Oh, sweet.
But we were playing basketball, and I went up for the ball, right? And of course, it's middle school, so I'm not very tall. But just imagine little old me going up for a ball, and there's this big guy, like not fat, but he, is larger, big boned, and I guess I came down and like bumped him in a way, and so he like, what the heck, man, and shoved me, and me being me, I was like, what the hell, man, and shoved him back. And then he started to charge at me, and I was like, oh shit. So then I just 180'd and ran. And then of course he's bigger and faster than I am, so he just tackles me on the concrete outside, basketball court. I just rip up everything, like pants just totally torn up, like it was a uniform, so it wasn't like I could like make it through the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So I went to the the nurse's office and the principal's office, because it's like I guess it was kind of my fault too, but we both ended up, like the principal was like, this is so dumb, you guys are both idiots.
You know what's crazy? My one time getting punched in the face was basketball as well.
Really?
Yeah, same.
It's a very contact-driven
sport. It really
sport.
is. That is the one place you will see me in my truly different colors. My anger comes out in sports, 100%.
I would agree as well.
I've been thrown out of games because
I have to tamp it down.
Yeah, and so mine was, I was just at a gym with one of my friends, and this was high school. This was like freshman, sophomore year, and we're playing basketball. And I'm very protective over my best friend because, you know, back in the day, he was a lot smaller. He hit puberty a lot later. Let's just say that. Now he's taller than me and shit. So
he's got an anaconda, if you know what I mean.
But long story short, we're playing basketball. It's like 3-on-3 or 5-on-5, whatever. And this guy scores a basket on my friend, and then he starts cursing at him and says, "Yeah, boy," and he calls him like a little bitch and things like that. So I get protective.
How dare you?
And then I start like the set. You gotta give me 1 inch, and I'll take it a freaking mile on trash talk.
Yeah, right.
And so I'm trash talking this guy. I'm telling him he's garbage, things like that, cursing him out. And he tells me after this game, I'm punching the face. I was like, all right, cool, do it. I don't care. Not thinking I was actually gonna get punched in the face.
Yeah.
So the game's almost ending. I think he's kind of serious. So I look at my two friends I came with. I was like, "Yo, if this goes down, y'all got my back, right?" Both said yes. Guess what? After the game, dude came up. He's like, "I told you I would punch you in the face." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." Boom, right across the face. I look at my friends as if they were gonna help. They turned their heads like,
"I'm not. Who's that guy? Who's that guy?"
And I didn't know what to do because I've never been hit. So I just sat there. I was stunned out of my mind.
Yeah, it's a very jarring experience if you haven't been punched in the face. And I definitely haven't. So, but anyway, we'll be right back after this. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We just want to take a little break to remind y'all we have a new website, www.mancarpodcast.com. In super surround sound. Ready? .com. Oh.
.com.
mancarpodcast.com. Check it out. We've got some great stuff over there. We're going to try to end up getting some merch over there. We're going to try to get...
we should have worn our merch.
I know. We'll wear it next week. But
it's actually really nice stuff.
Yeah, it's super cool. So be on the watch for that. But speaking of next week, next Saturday, you and I and a couple other friends, John included from last episode, we are going shooting. So we're going to the shooting range. I know Ellie's coming. Philip and his wife are coming. You and John, we're all going to the shooting range.
And if y'all have been paying attention with the running joke, I was really hoping the best man would be there because he's making it really easy to take out the people ahead of me. Because
I know.
I want to be best man.
Once again, don't know why you think you're in last place.
You didn't say I wasn't. So if I take out everybody, there's no one else. So then I don't have to question it.
Yeah, there's no question. Yeah. Well, we are going shooting, and so I need to get some ammo this weekend or order it this weekend at some point. But we're shooting, I think Philip has an AR. I think maybe we're shooting some handguns. I should probably text Evans and see if he's gonna...
Yeah, you should, 100%.
I should see if he's going to come back and if he could come back into town for that, because I know he's got an AR, he's got some handguns, so we could definitely try and shoot those for sure, because Ellie hasn't shot anything before.
Are we going to let Ellie try a rifle?
Oh,
like
yeah,
an
for
AR
sure.
and everything? Oh, okay,
I would
awesome.
say shooting an AR is much less scary than shooting a handgun.
Wait, has she ever shot a gun before?
No.
Okay, so she doesn't know the recoil. She doesn't realize that. Okay.
Well, no, that's the thing is when you shoot an AR, like, you expect it to be like, boom, like really like shoot your arm back, but
AR is not that bad.
Like, there's a video of a guy holding it against his crotch and pulling the trigger, and he's like,
It's family jewels.
It doesn't kick. So, but I feel like for Ellie, like, handguns are quite scary because it blows back.
Yeah.
And you have to actively hold on to it.
Yeah.
Or else, like, if you let go, it'll blow out of your hand, and that could be very jarring.
I'm gonna be honest. When they first start, I'm gonna let y'all handle that. I'll sit far away.
It's like
until they get used to it.
Have you seen the clip of the girl who I think they're letting her shoot an Uzi at one of those special ranges who gets to have access to automatic weapons, and she thought it was empty and like turned around and like got people killed and injured. Like it was bad.
Yeah, that's always my fear. Yeah,
but that's the thing. That's just a lack. It's not a lack. It's not because of the gun that happened.
Of course, no. It's lack of knowledge.
It's the lack of training and the lack of understanding of what this weapon does and can do and what you need to do on the range. Safe positions, up, down range. Like, It's pretty straightforward, but if you don't know about it, like there's just a lot of things moving around, and it can be kind of overwhelming just because like you don't think about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's no thought like, oh man, I need to remember to point this at the ground. I need to also check the chamber, make sure
Multiple
it's empty.
times,
Take the mat, like double check the chamber. Like
Even so, still don't point it at anybody.
never point it at anybody. Never.
Even
never.
if you know it's completely empty, it's just
You don't
it's
play
good
around.
practice.
You don't play around. Yeah, it's like practice how you play.
Exactly.
So yeah, so we're going shooting, and that's really exciting because talk about manly. We're going to be one step closer to earning our man cards.
I think my beard's gonna grow in by then.
You gonna get some chest hair?
No, I don't want that. I want the beard.
You want the beard?
I was talking to a guy yesterday. I work at
my chest fro down to my ball, or my chest pubes down to my ball fro.
I hope I don't get back hair.
I think I get like I don't have much hair in that regard, and I think I get long, like a couple long stringy ones that Ellie likes to pull out.
I don't know what it is with girls and like backs, but for whatever reason, any girl I've dated or whatever that sees my, they just like to pick or play at it or whatever. Yeah, weird.
It's
anyway,
super muscular.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
So I'm a server. Obviously, I talk to people on the daily when I can. And I was talking to a guy last night, and dude, military, big guy. He's a good-looking guy, maybe like 45 years old. He's got a beard going and everything. We were just talking that I asked him, I was like, do you shave your head because, you know, you were losing your hair, or is it like a choice? He's like, no, it's a choice. And it just kind of doesn't make me mad, but I know I'm going to lose my hair. It's just genetic. And I'm just praying to God when it happens, the beard's coming in. Because if so, that's a decent look. Because you can go bald and beard and then baseball caps. What you can't, at least for me, thinking about it, is I cannot go bald head, bald face, because I'm just gonna look like Caillou, and I'm not. I got a big ass head too. So hopefully I'll get a beard going. Hopefully I can grow whatever you got going on there too.
Yeah, I forgot to shave this morning. But I'll tell you right now, it's deceivingly good. It's not good.
I was about to say, it's deceivingly good, so it's good.
No.
It's deceivingly not. Okay.
No, it's deceivingly good.
Oh, okay.
So it is bad. It makes you think like, oh, he can, you know, because when it starts to grow here, it's like, yeah, he's got something going. He can let it grow. But it's patchy. It doesn't grow in well. It doesn't grow in solid. Like this doesn't connect well. Like, yeah, I have to shave it or else I start looking like a little pedo.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been growing this for 23 years. I'm proud of it.
Still haven't shaved yet, young whippersnappers. Yeah, have you ever? Because this was an experience. Because do you remember going on, was it Walking Wisely? No. It was
the walk.
No, not the walk. It was up at Sharp Top.
Oh yeah.
Vertical Reality.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only one I went to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you remember? Were you there the time when I went up on stage?
Hold on, just a little backstory real quick. Vertical Reality is just, because we're talking because we know it.
Yeah, okay, so our church, North Point Church in Georgia, is a huge church, and they have a couple different retreats where you can go on, one of which is Vertical Reality, which is basically at this camp called Sharp Top Cove. They just call it Vertical Reality because you're vertically...
It's in the mountains, you're high up.
Well, you're high up as well as trying to focus on that Jesus right there. And so it's a great way to connect with other people as well as
perfect.
As your faith. Although I will admit, the environment lends itself to be quite distracting with all of the females there and the guys just like commingling.
Yeah, you don't say.
Anyway, we'll move past that. So do you remember? Were you there the time when I went up on stage at one of the like pre-worship like sessions, and they were because it was the Hunger Games theme. And we were going around getting bracelets that people had name tags for other people that they were trying to find and get more bracelets for.
No, I was not there.
Okay, so I'll just describe this to you real quick. So we basically had bracelets with names on them of other people we had to find. You kill them by tagging them, and then you get their bracelet, and then get the person they were supposed to find, and then you go find that bracelet.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
It's a cool person. I mean, it's a cool concept, but also another added difficulty to it is you don't know everybody.
Yeah.
So you have to, through word of mouth, figure out who people are.
Just go around touching people. Hey.
Yeah,
hey.
That could be problematic.
Yeah, no
but
kidding.
You don't know who everybody is. And so there was one time when I was chasing after somebody, bottom line, I was either chasing somebody or being chased, and I ran into and totally took down this chick who was like in my way. So we went down, and later that night, that story came up, and she was, the guy went on stage and was like, "Does anybody have any crazy stories from today?" And she rose her hand.
I got trucked by some little kid earlier.
Yeah, and she was like, "I got decked by this random guy," and the person on stage, was like, "Who is this? Who is this person? Who decked this chick?" And being the noble man that I am,
That was me, sir.
I stood up and was like, "That was freaking me."
I volunteer as tribute.
I totally decked this chick on purpose. No, it was complete accident. So I thought it was just going to be like a "ha, you did it, you're an idiot" kind of thing. But he was like, "Come down here.
You're gonna bend over. Everyone's coming over."
Yeah, smacking your butt, man. We're taking turns, dude. But it was funny because I thought it was just going to be like a funny, like, "Oh, that's hilarious." But I went down on stage, and I have no shame. Like, I have no boundaries at all.
I get to see you going down there all smiley, like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is cool. I'm on stage. Let's go."
It was a good time. So I went down there, and they put a stool out, and they were like, "You know what? We need to treat you what it feels like to be a lady." And I was like, "Okay, we need to get you some respect, son." And I guess they had this segue planned out. I have no idea. But they put me on a stool. They put me in like a wig, and then they were like, "We're almost there. You are still a little hairy for a girl." So they brought out wax.
Oh, wow.
So they got the hot wax and the strips, and they waxed my armpit on stage, as well as like 2 parts of my leg. And they were like, "All right, that's it. Thanks for coming." And I was like, "What the hell? You're not going to wax everything?" So I was walking around the rest of the weekend with 1 waxed armpit and 2 like waxed spots on my leg. And I was like, this is very strange.
Now I see why people are scarred from church camp.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it
goes on at church camp, stays at church camp.
It does not, though. I promise you. It comes back to haunt you. But no, it was a fun experience because then we went back to the cabin and I was trying to get it off, but it's wax. So it doesn't just rub off. It like gums up and sticks to the rest of your hair that's still there. So you have to rip out the rest of your hair to get the wax off of your body. It was a nightmare to get it off, I'll tell you that. But I did become infamous that weekend as the guy who got his armpit waxed. But it does hurt. It hurts like a mother trucker.
I bet.
Granted, I held it together because, there were ladies watching, but it was very painful.
No, I can only imagine. I've heard so many bad things about waxing. The places and things that people get waxed,
Well, I was nervous when I went up on stage that they said I was too hairy, and I'm like, you better not shave my balls. You are not shaving my balls right now.
Okay. I was thinking head. You were thinking the other head. Okay.
I was thinking, like, you are not about to wax my butthole. Like, this is not about to happen on stage in front of everybody. I mean, I would have been a man, and I would have totally done it. But I was like, there's no way this is going to happen right now. And luckily, they were like armpit and legs. And I was like, okay, that makes much more sense.
I thought they were going to go for the head. I thought they were just going to shave your...
See, that would have been... I feel like they would have gotten in major trouble if they sent me home with a shaved head to my parents, or my parents were somebody who cared.
Yeah.
And which, I mean, I don't know if my parents. I don't think they cared. But that would have been a nightmare. Like your kid goes with a nice head of hair. We just gotta spend money on that haircut, and they come home and it's bald.
Yep.
Ooh.
Mohawk.
Oh,
the monk cut.
Oh, just like tie-dye it blue.
No, yeah, just the bald spot right here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, all you do is just shave right here, and you got hair everywhere.
I'm not even Jewish. I can't even cover it up.
They did that to Tim Tebow when he first entered the NFL.
Did they?
Yeah, as a rookie. That
sounds about right for
they did
for
rookie
sports
haircuts.
hazing.
Yep.
Well, because you were on base, you did baseball as well. So
yes.
you were on teams where I know y'all were like, we're gonna grow our hair out the whole season, and then get mullets at the end of the season or whatever, shave our heads, or I don't know. Like, it was like a thing, right?
Yeah, it was. I couldn't do it because my issue is I'm very impatient, and I like to change things a lot. So I'll sit here and I'll be like, I'm gonna grow my hair out. I'm gonna get see what it looks like, get a nice flow going, and I'll get to that awkward stage, and I'll wake up one day, I kid you not, and I'll just look at it and be like, yeah, I'm getting a haircut today. That's it. It's literally that decision, and I'll plan. So now I go to a barber that you actually have to make an appointment, and so like I'll have good hair days and bad hair days in between that when I set that appointment and the actual appointment. And it always comes down to a game time decision how much hair I'm going to get cut off. If I'm having a good hair day that day, not much. I'm just going to get, touched up and stuff. But if I'm having a bad hair day, it's coming off. It's done.
That's the problem with me is like my hair grows at an astonishing rate. So I'll get a haircut and it'll look good for a week and a half maybe, and then it will just start growing like a weed.
Yeah.
I don't know if something about getting a haircut makes my hair go like, all right, we're gonna start growing super fast again. But yeah, I've always found it very strange that like I can't have haircuts for very long because it just grows out so fast, and then it takes me forever to get up the like. Something about guys and haircuts. You can never get a guy to go get a haircut when they need a haircut.
Oh yeah.
Like it always takes.
It's always when they don't need it. My mom.
Yeah.
My mom thinks it's ridiculous how many times I get a haircut. 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. Just
Really?
about. Yeah.
See, I'm the guy that's like, I could wait another week.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know, I just don't go do it. I don't know. It's just hard to convince me to go get a haircut. And I'll go in and they'll be like, wow, it's been 5 months since you've been here.
Yeah. Here's this picture of me. I want to look like this guy again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was so bad. Yeah. So those of you who don't know or didn't listen to last week's, I went into the barbershop. I went into the haircutting place, and I took a picture of myself and asked for my haircut again.
Yeah. Most people go in with, like a model or, like some superhero that, hey, I want this hairstyle. Noah went in and he's like, hey, yo, this guy, I want him.
I want to look.
Wait, that looks like you. It is. I want him again.
Me to look like me.
I miss this old guy.
Oh, well, sorry, we can't help you with that. But yeah, so anyway, we just kind of went off the beaten trail there with the fights. So
oh wow,
that was really far.
That was a deep trail. Okay,
we'll bring it back in for the third time. I got in a small fight in middle school. You have been punched in the face.
Yes.
I feel like that culminates to we both can check off that box and never do it again. Like,
no, I gotta hit somebody.
You gotta hit somebody?
I gotta hit somebody. It's on my bucket list. I know that sounds crappy, but like my ideal situation, and I plan it out in my head, and every time I go into a bar, I'm looking at my situation. I'm thinking me and my buddy, who I know will fight anybody. Dude wants to start a fight wherever he goes, anytime he drinks. I said it would be like, you know what, a 2-on-2 bar fight, I'm so down. So just look at me the wrong way.
That's the problem, though.
I know it is.
There's too many situations where that could go wrong.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, fine. You get in a fight in a bar, great.
Mm-hmm.
Not great, but fine. And you hit somebody, he whacks you, and then it's done. You're like, all right, man, dap it up. That's fine. But the problem is it's mob mentality. So the second you start hitting somebody, they bump into somebody else.
Well, that's what I think. I sit there and think of like a nice cartoon or like a movie scene. You're in one of these old country bars and you pull up to the bar and someone looks at you and, hey, what are you looking at, partner? And then boom, you just start swinging. And everybody around you swinging and beating crap out of each other. Yeah. Bartender sitting there wailing on somebody. That's
the bartender just like dips down behind the bar, just like, oh, I'm not getting involved. But yeah, I don't think I would want to do that. There was an episode on Modern Family actually that I remember watching, which is Gloria, one of the main characters, and her husband, which is the old guy in the show, like the granddad. He he was like, he's old, so he's like, I'll just solve my problems by just like giving you money or whatever. So like he was in a bar and he almost got into a bar fight, but he was like, here you go, here's $20, here's buy yourself another drink. And he solved the problem. But Gloria, his wife, was like, I didn't want you to do that. I wanted you to fight for me, fight for my honor.
We've talked about this before, yeah.
And
fight for me.
I don't think that. I feel like that would just go bad in any situation. Like she would end up getting hit, or like you would lose teeth, or get curb stomped. Like, I mean, imagine you get thrown out of the bar. You obviously would get thrown out of the bar, but like you get thrown out, and then they come after you, and your head like smacks on the concrete.
I always think worst case scenario, because I don't think about that necessarily, getting my head hit or something like that. I'm worried about a weapon being drawn, or it no longer becoming a fair fight where it's just fist on fist, but better man wins. Which I think, frankly, it's relatively respectful. If you get in a fight and you can just brawl it out like that, and you don't have to pull a weapon or something, it's just what guys kind of do. And then afterwards, you dab the person on, hey, yo, you really got me there. Yeah, I'm missing a tooth. Yeah, no, that's good, bro.
I taste blood. Okay, all right.
Well, that's the thing with guys. We could be done right afterwards. Just dab it up. Just be, oh, that was a good fight. Clean.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I just have no desire to get into a fight, but I know if called upon, I could definitely stand my own. It would just have to be the right circumstances, because if I'm called to get into a fight and I'm just for no purpose, I'm not gonna be in it.
Yeah.
But if it's like for a reason, like my fiance, in the future maybe wife, is in danger, of course I'm gonna stand up and go balls to the wall trying to defend that. But if it's like you bumped over my drink, I'm gonna be like, well, can you buy me a new drink? You know, that was kind of a jerk thing to do.
I don't think either of us would ever start a physical altercation. I know I won't. I know, like I mentioned before, any type of sport, you know, the demon inside of me comes out where I go absolutely nuts. But like I always think back, I never start those fights. I never talk crap first. But I will admit, somebody just has to.
You let them talk crap first.
Yeah, one person literally just has to say, "Haha, you missed that shot," and I'll be like, "Screw you and your family. I hate you. Whatever." Like, you want to fight? You want to go? That's it. But I won't start it.
Oh, that's funny.
But
yeah, you just give you an inch, you'll take a mile. Kind of thing.
It's like I'm looking for it, but I'm not looking for it.
You just happen into it every time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
I used to have a terrible anger. Last little thing is I know because I heard it coming.
No, go for it. Dude, go for it.
One of my memory back playing baseball, and it was me and the umpire.
Yeah,
is there's just a play, and there's 2 times that I've been thrown out of a baseball game when I was little. Kid slid in. I obviously got him out. There's no question in my mind. The kid was out. I tagged him out, and he called him safe. And I looked at the ref, and this is 5th grade me.
Yeah.
I looked at him and said, "That's bullshit." Thrown out of the game immediately. The other time that I was thrown out, I was actually in 3rd grade.
What?
This had nothing to do with an ump. Nobody. I hit a ball, one of my first hits, and it was a high pop fly. And I was so excited. I was running around the bases, and the kid caught it, and I threw a tantrum that he caught it.
Oh,
I was so pissed off. I was like, I hit it so hard. I hit it so good. I threw my helmet down. I was like kicking things. I refused to go out on the field, and the ump was like, like, Mr. Peters, your son's a little child. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of baseball, before we get, I know we're just like we're right here at the end. I remembered a time when I actually did start and get into a fight. And it was I was on the baseball team on the baseball diamond. I might have talked about this before.
I think I vaguely remember this one. But go on.
It's a great repeat story. So I was on the we were grounding at shortstop, right?
Just ground balls,
running drills.
Yeah.
And the guy who was at second base is an a-hole. He was playing second, and he was an a-hole. Oh my gosh, this guy sucked. And every time somebody missed something, he was just on their case, like, "Oh, you're so bad, you suck, dude," whatever. And I went up there. And I can't remember if I missed, like I got it and shot it to him, great, and I went to the back of the line. I think the second time I came up, I missed it or bobbled it or something, and he was like, "No, you suck." And he turned around to go back to play second in this drill, and I just like whipped my glove off, threw it on the ground, and just ran at him, tackled the dude to the ground, and then shoved.
How old are you?
I don't know. I was probably like whatever, I can't remember when I was still playing baseball, like maybe like 13, 14, 15.
Okay, so you are a little bit. You started that fight.
I did start that fight, and then I shoved his face in the dirt, and then like I stormed off to the outfield.
Beef stew.
And then
have you ever seen Benchwarmers?
Oh man, yes. I don't remember.
That's all
I don't
picture.
remember it very. I watched it like 2-3 in the morning.
It's just you shoving this kid on the ground and then farting in his face. That's all beef stew was.
Yeah, that was me. That was definitely me. And then I walked out to the outfield and just sat there just to cool off, because I was like. And that's the thing. So I remember after that, nobody gave me a hard time for it. Like nobody was like, "You don't do that, you don't." But because this guy was such the coaches hated him, all the players hated him, all the parents didn't like this kid, and so I kind of got like a little like free tackle off on this kid because he was just such a jerk, and so it was almost like instant retribution for just being so mean to everybody. But that's the only time I remember starting a fight. And it never went to fisticuffs or anything like that. He knew too. He knew. So for the rest of the season, he never crossed me again because he knew.
You set the standard. Yeah.
I set the bar. I was like, you do not
flex your chest every time I walk by.
Flex my very skinny chest, dude. I was very small. I was a pitcher.
I was a pitcher too. I was a scrawny ass kid too.
I was very thin.
I turned sideways, I'd disappear. I was a 2D character. Not kidding.
Flat Stanley.
Exactly.
All right, that's a perfect way to end this. Thank you for tuning in to Main Card Podcast. We are excited to take on the beast of this other The Man Card Podcast in the future, see where that goes. But no, we may not be the only one, but we are
the best one.
The best one. See you later.